Wait, hold up. Let me check something just really quick. I received breaking news. Let's see. I think it's true. I think it's true. You have been visited by the ghost of Sleepy Ralph. He's so sleepy. Look at him. Hello. Is someone calling him? Ralph. Hello. Ralph? He's not waking up. I had to tune in live just in case this is the death of Ethan Ralph. We want to make sure that we capture this moment in its essence. I'm gonna go to his chat real quick. Hold up, I'm gonna shitpost. You might see Ralph's chat in the overlay when I do this. Hello? Ralph? Ralph, wake up! Don't die! I need content!
Savior sent $10.
Ralph! Wait, let's see. Someone roll him into the recovery position. He is going to asphyxiate on his own vomit and die. Oh no, I think this is it, chat. They're sending him money to play the... He's just sleeping. There's someone in Ralph's chat who's upset. No, this isn't embarrassing. He's just sleeping. He's such a hard worker. He's such a hard worker. He works every day. He works every day for the kill stream. And he works so hard. And everyone's so mean to him. And he's just sleeping. Alright. Okay, cool. We'll come back to the Ethan Ralph sleeping segment here shortly. Oh boy, we're returning to our man of the hour. We started the stream off. I gotta get pumped. Ugh, where's my energy at, chat? It's time for the fun stuff. It's time for the really fun, the things that I'm truly passionate about in life. Such as Ethan Ralph. I have nothing but passion for Ethan Ralph. Ethan Ralph decided he was going to flex on stream. He was going to show people that he's a big guy. He means business. So he threw around his chair a bit just to show off the gun. I cannot help but dance to this.
Did he really get cucked by Steel Toe?
Do the thing.
Let's go!
There we go.
You know what? Fuck this!
Yeah.
Fuck this!
Yeah. Punish that chair.
Fuck this shit! Fuck this shit!
Smash it. Smash and slam. The gun poking out. Look, so dainty. Little gun pokage as he lifts up the chair. Smash that chair. Brrr, fuck you, chair. You piece of shit.
Oh, you think my arm is fucked? Yeah, fuck.
Fuck you, bish. Now, let's wind that back. Can we get a rematch, chat? Chair versus Ralph.
Your pussy's clever and so slick.
That's his music, by the way.
But I think that your pussy's really thick. I wanna see your pussy, show it.
By the way, retweet this. I just tagged LawTube Sean, the fat fucker, and I said, your fat ass is next. Okay, we want to start cases on everybody for internet bullshit? Okay, alright, you know. If that's the way you got... Whoa, shit!
That is Ralph falling backwards out of his chair. Immediately after calling Sean a fat fuck, he just tips back. The order was given, "Let me see your pussy." And then Ethan Ralph delivers, "Woo! Here you go." Just, oh, that's the kind of service you just don't get anymore. Ask and receive. Truly excellent. But Ralph's not all up to just dumb shit, chat. Ralph is up to some serious fucking business. The rumors came in first from loyal Killstream fan Haru Okumura, which from what my understanding is a Persona character. He says, Ethan Ralph has revealed live on air very angrily that Minnesota is pursuing charges on him for something related to his attendance at the Rekieta omnibus hearing, which was wrong but inferred. He says they don't seem to care much about him personally and are focused on going after Nick Rekieta. And they're alleging that he was acting on Nick's behalf when he virtually attended Aaron's hearing. He says that he was contacted and served by an agent of the government. Ethan Ralph was emailed midstream by a sheriff from, I believe, the not the Candy, Ohio County one, but the other one. It's like called Sharon's County. It's the one where Aaron lives. And the county asked Ethan Ralph to turn himself in to law enforcement because he has an outstanding warrant for a misdemeanor contempt of court. That's a big thing, right? A misdemeanor, by definition, does not disenfranchise you, does not cost you gun rights, does not. It's only punishable by at absolute maximum 1 year in prison or 1 year in jail. Even anything that involves prison, I believe the distinction is anything that involves more than 1 year. Involves prison, involves disenfranchisement of rights. That's a felony. So he's just looking at a misdemeanor, which is at most 1 year. So it's kind of a minor thing, right? Well, he responded to the police officer, and I believe he even said that he wasn't going to turn himself in. And that led, because he lives in Mexico, and fuck you, bish. So now Ethan Ralph is the fugitive. Allow me to explain what has transpired as a result of this. And I asked a former elected district attorney for information so that I would be more informed on this topic, because very thankfully I'm not actually that versed on how criminal proceedings work, especially warrants. In the United States, there are agreements between all the states in regards to extradition. There are some caveats, some distinctions between them. In particular, it gets kind of hazy in regards to child support payments, parental kidnapping, that kind of shit. There's little differences between states, but they all generally have a network of how they handle warrants. And the big thing is, it's your own responsibility. So let's put out a theoretical. Let's say that the state of Minnesota, a county in Minnesota, has a charge, and they want to bring it against a man who has fled the state, perhaps to Mexico, and they want to get him no matter what. So they put out a national warrant. They put it into the database and say, it does not matter where this guy is, we will come get him. So what would happen then is that this guy could perhaps cross from Tijuana into California, and the Customs and Border Patrol, or security, would notice that he has entered the country and he's a wanted person in their database. So they would hold him, they would detain him, and notify the issuing authority responsible for the warrant. And a warrant then, they would hold him in whatever jail. The county would then get 2 sheriffs, and it has to be 2 deputies because one deputy may be indisposed, has to go to the bathroom, has to do something. So you can't leave the guy, the criminal, by himself. So there has to be always 2 deputies to make an arrest. Then the county will pay for these 2 deputies who are now on the clock as active duty service members or whatever, not service members, but police agents. And they'll get 2 plane tickets to Southern California. And then they have to take transportation or get the sheriff's department to give him a ride to the border where he's being held. And then they have to go back. And they'll have to pay for 3 plane tickets from Southern California back to Minnesota. Then they get in their car, and then they drive. That's like 24 hours. That's a long time. They get overtime because they're working a very long shift. That's 5 commercial plane tickets. And then there may also be fees related to the agency that held him. So it's a very big deal, and that's easily, based off what I've described, easily $10,000. That's taxpayer money, and it's paid by the county. So it's kind of expensive. You don't want to put out a national search warrant or arrest warrant, because if they're in, if you're in Florida and they're arrested in Juneau, Alaska, unless it's a really big deal, you probably don't want to pay your taxpayer dollars to go out there and apprehend this person, especially if you're an elected attorney who is responsible for wise management of finances, right? But so generally speaking, a felony is what's required for a warrant. If it's a misdemeanor, like for instance, let's say that you're in New Jersey and you know that you're going to, or if you're in South Dakota, if you're in Minnesota, and there's a guy that you know who crosses over into North Dakota to work because they have that big city on the border between Minnesota and North Dakota. You say, okay, well, we'll also put out a search warrant in North Dakota. If he gets arrested in North Dakota, that's close enough, we'll go get him. That's how it works for a misdemeanor. And that's like an extreme example. They don't usually do that either. Ralph has a misdemeanor contempt of court charge. And they have put out an international or a national search warrant or arrest warrant for him. A national arrest warrant. And from what I've been told by a former prosecuting attorney is that is unheard of. Never once in his career did he put out a national warrant for a misdemeanor because it's just not worth the money. He might, if again in that situation where you know that he travels between 2 states very frequently, he might put out one for 2 states for a misdemeanor. So he's done something to Stearns County where they want his ass enough that they're going to put out $10,000+ and police overtime to haul him from whatever shithole he happens to end up in and get arrested at, and bring him back to Minnesota to face a contempt of court hearing. So that leaves a lot of questions. And I have a particular pet theory that I don't want to say on air because I'm pretty convinced I'm right. And I think that me saying what I believe is not in the interest of justice, chat. And you guys know I love Justice. I'm a big fan. They make a lot of good songs. So I don't want to jeopardize that. So this is his active warrant. Oh, it is Stearns County. And as it turns out, by the way, even if it's a misdemeanor, the statute of limitations in regards to time elapsed to charge him with this, it's indefinite. As long as he's out of the state of Minnesota, the charge is on hiatus. So it will never run out of its statutory limits. He will have this misdemeanor in Minnesota until the day he dies if he does not face the music. So theoretically, the smart thing to do would be to go to Minnesota and face the music. They'll even pay for your plane ticket. There's one potential reason why that might not be such a smart idea, but again, I'm not going to say what. Ethan Ralph, of course, is not the kind of guy to face the music, because he's a fat retard. So the first potential issue that he has is he's actually lost all of his identity documents. He's lost his driver's license, which he needs to drive in Mexico, and he's lost his passport book. And this kind of requires an explanation. In the United States, there's 2 forms of passports. You have passport books, which are the real ones that you want to have, because you can travel anywhere with a passport book as an American, basically. There's also passport cards. Passport cards are only valid for Canada, Mexico, and a couple other Caribbean island countries. And only for ferries and land crossings. You cannot fly from Mexico City to LA with a passport card. You still need a book, but you can drive from Tijuana to LA, and many people do that every day, which is why there's the card. You don't need a stamp. As long as you have the card, you can land cross between the international border. And you can also commute from Buffalo up to Niagara if you want with the card every day. No issues. So that's what part of the reason why Ralph has moved from the Yucatan to Tijuana is that he has lost his passport book, but has his passport card, so he can still go see Zanda. It just takes many more hours to get there because he's driving. And for whatever fucking reason, he's too fucking dumb or lazy to renew or to report his passport book lost or stolen and get a new one. And I think the main reason why is that you have to appear in person at the U.S. Embassy. And I guess he's afraid to do that for whatever reason. So now he's really fucked. He doesn't have any documentation that he can use, and if he uses his passport card to drive into the United States, he's immediately going to be scooped up by Minnesota, which is weird. So I don't know what he's doing, there's a thing that I always notice, because I pay way too much attention to weird government shit for my own good. But I've always noticed when I fill out certain documents, there's a little checkbox that always made me laugh that says, I affirm under penalty of perjury that I am not a fugitive from justice. I'm like, you would think a fugitive from justice would have other shit to worry about than filling out this fucking mundane form. And now I get it. Ralph is a fugitive from justice, which means that he cannot actually pass background checks required to do many, many things that you and I take for granted. Even me living abroad, I can conduct a lot of business just fine, filling out boring paperwork. But now Ralph can't because he's a fugitive from justice. So a lot of his stuff is going to start expiring, and he might lose access to things like American financial services. And in Mexico, or anywhere outside the United States, you can't open an account as an American specifically because of the Patriot Act. The Patriot Act is very invasive, and any bank that has American citizens has to report all of their American clients to the United States, or they have to not accept American citizens, or otherwise the American government comes after you. So he's going to start losing access to a lot of the things that he needs to get by day to day. And I don't know why he thinks that he can just hide in Mexico. Mexico is one of the worst states that you can hide in to get away from the U.S. government. They deport your ass for child support from Mexico. No problem. It's a movie trope that you go to Mexico to hide from the U.S. federal government or from the state governments. In reality, we sorted that shit out decades ago. They'll send you back home if they really want you. So. He's going to start hurting if he loses access to his super chat money, even though it's now tax-free, if he can't deposit to his bank accounts because they're frozen due to his criminal status, fugitive from justice status. It really depends on how bad they want to go after him. So he's really fucked himself. It's quite remarkable, actually, how badly he's fucked himself. And it's kind of strange, too, that he has decided that he's just going to abandon seeing Xander. And he's angry at Aaron Emholt. He's saying, Aaron Emholt, you're keeping me from seeing my son because of this fucking warrant. I'm not gonna be able to see my son anymore. And it's like, no, dude. What really fucked him though is that he is in contempt of court because he restreamed Aaron Emholt's hearing on Zoom, and he just assumed like, well, they're not gonna come get me if I do this. And then he even acknowledged in the recording, I know I'm not supposed to restream this, but I'm in Mexico, bish. They can't fucking get me. And they're like, okay, fine. And what's really funny is that they might not even expect him to ever come back to the United States, but just by applying that fugitive from justice label and making him a national fugitive, it's like they've really fucked him for free. I don't even think they have to pay the money to put the thing into the database for the warrant. It's like a free button they can press. Okay, there's a warrant for your arrest. It's not going to ever expire, and it's across the entire country. So you're just going to have to eat shit until you decide to come back here and spend 6 months in jail for contempt of court. Really crazy. So, that aside, is this the right thing? Oh, fuck yeah. Okay, so after this was announced, Ethan Ralph got completely and totally fucked up. It goes without saying. So here's some timestamps from the Rationals. It's a Pillstream. He does these all the time. He's just like really fucked up, annoying, slurring speech, sounding retarded. But I'm going to trust the Rationals and check out these timestamps for you guys and see if they're funny. I actually took the effort to download this. Can you believe that?
So It's just
He replied to the police by email. I think this is his response.
okay. So this was my response, and I only showed this response after what I'm about to show you. At first, I wasn't going to respond at all, actually. But I saw that they had executed a search warrant on Twitter, and I didn't see that until like 2 or 3 weeks later. But I said this. I said, I was taught never to speak with police in this manner without an attorney present. I don't see anything in your correspondence that would change my normal practice.
That is such a that's how you know he's like a bona fide fucking holes in the brain retard. You're talking to somebody and saying, I know I'm not supposed to talk to you. And that's like the first sentence of like 3 paragraphs. Like, okay, you know, but you do. Crazy how that works.
This is not an admission of any wrongdoing, only that it is my belief that this sort of thing is best handled by a legal professional. I do not live in Stearns County. I have never held residence there or set foot in the county. I have no intention of ever doing so. Please let me know if I need to retain local counsel, and I will arrange that in the near future. Thank you for reaching out. I rarely use this email, and so I just now saw your request. Sincerely, Ethan Ralph.
He was tipped off, by the way, that they were investigating him because Stearns County had put in a search warrant for him for his Twitter messages. And I think that the email address that he's using, killasmoke1985@gmail, is probably his Twitter handle. I also very much appreciate that his Gmail username for killasmoke1985 is Anon. So, as a professed anonymous person on his email, he's responding to the police officer and signing his name to confirm the receipt that he's aware that he is now a wanted fugitive from justice in Minnesota and the nation of the United States. It's the little things that I find amusement from, chat. It's the little things. Okay, this is the Twitter search warrant. Oh, duh. I'm explaining things you're already going to hear.
The search warrant. They filed a search warrant on Twitter. Asking for videos that I had from September the 3rd. They didn't ask for my DMs, but they asked for subscriber information to include but not limited to names, addresses, phone numbers, email addresses associated with the X account of me, and all posts, videos, photos posted and associated IP. Bitch, you can't find me with my IP, cocksucker.
He's so fucking dumb. I'm behind 7 proxies. Yeah, are you also a permanent resident of Mexico and they have your address on file? Yeah, okay, great.
Addresses made on 9/3/24 for the X account of me. They block out the name, it's redacted. That's some cop. It's probably the same cop that contacted me. And once I got back to him and said I wasn't going to talk to him, they filed a charge against me because there's a theory that they actually wanted me to testify against Nick Rekieta and say that he put me up to it. And first off,
if you're wondering, the music is loud because Ethan Ralph is a flaggot. And he's threatening to take down any people commenting on his video, but he can suck my asshole because fuck you. I'm commenting for the future court district. I'm commenting on the fact that this fat retard has ruined his entire life after he thumbed a teenage girl's asshole.
I won't comment on that at all. But second off, I won't comment to the police at all. And so, if I talked to them and said, yeah, I'm a snitch, by the way, Rekieta did not have anything to do with anything I've done ever, but, if I've been a snitch and said, yeah, he put me up to this and they probably wouldn't love that, but you know what? I'm not a snitch, nigga.
So when I rewrite the DMCA as part of my foundation, I'm going to do something just to fuck over Ralph. I'm gonna make it so that one of the possible reasons you can reject a DMCA is that the owner of the copyright is a fugitive from justice, just specifically to fuck over Ralph and his flagging.
I'm 10 toes down. I'll fucking spend fucking 10 years in the goddamn fucking jail, like, before I fucking be a bitch. And so that's me. That's how I was raised. That's the milieu that I came up in, and it's 10 toes down, nigga. Like, I don't give a fuck. Nobody do shit. I didn't do shit illegal, and if you want to come for me,
He admitted it. He admitted that he knew he wasn't supposed to rebroadcast the court proceedings. And he's like, I ain't done shit, bitch, motherfucker.
Fucking
big snooze.
get me then, bitch.
Oh, bro.
Don't
Don't
it then.
don't say that. Dude, if you ever are like in a confrontation with someone and there's a chance they might do something or they're threatening to do something you actually don't want them to do, don't ever say, do it then, pussy, because like 10 times out of 10, they will just straight up fucking murder you. Like, there's no way to galvanize someone to fuck you over faster than daring them to do it.
Do it then. Okay? You want to come at me for some shit? Not saying I was doing this, but everybody else was doing this. So I'm not going to jail. So,
dude, I wish I could canonize that as like one of those like election bets. Will Ralph go to jail in 2025? I would bet 1,000 right now. I would call PPP on that. We'd gamba it up.
all these fucking retards who think I'm going to jail, that's not gonna happen. And I'm not going to Minnesota. So, like, I may pay the fine just to, like, clear it up, but I'm
The
not going to
fine.
Minnesota.
The fine. It's an arrest warrant. They want you. It's like, okay, fine. I'll pay the contempt of court fine. How much is it? Sir, you're going to have to come over here. We're going to prosecute you. There's a jail sentence attached to it. How much pesos? How much American dinero to pay this fine, sir?
I'm in a hearing? Like, fuck off, bitch. I'm in Mexico, and come and get me if you want. Which you can't. And Mexico has treaties with the United States, and they don't honor misdemeanors. So suck my fucking fat white dick. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Suck my fat white dick.
Okay, I think that's the end of that segment. Smack my horse up at 17:10. That's promising. I haven't had a beat a dead horse segment in a very long time.
Fucking piece of shit. Smack my horse up. I just got rid of my horse, but whatever.
This is catchy. Okay. Ralph discusses his sexy physical therapist. Okay. Adios mio.
And it's funny because, like, all these people airlocked are like, oh, Ralph's smitten. I am smitten. That's true. But, like, oh, he doesn't realize she's just, you know, creating conversation because that's her job. Yeah, actually, I do realize that. But I wonder how to get past that.
Austin Bear sent $2 on Rumble. Call Cog.
I call him a fucking drone strike. But they're like,
that's actually a
she
funny
doesn't
response.
realize that's her job. First off, that's the main part of her job because she's like massaging my fucking, you know, muscle and nerve and electrotherapy and all this shit. Like, that's the main part of her job. But, like, we're sitting there for an hour, so we talk, right? And she speaks in English. And I know that, right? Like, I don't hit on her when we're done. I shake her hand like I would a man. Like, I don't ask for a hug or anything like that. Like, I treat her
Ralph's in the physical therapy zone. It's rough, boys. It's rough out there in Mexico.
like I would a dude. But in my head, I'm thinking, God, she is like the Thank you. I love you too.
Welcome to Costco. I love you. Okay, 210. Then he passes out. Okay.
You know.
What he does, he just slumps. Dude, that's gotta be like a bad sign. Like when you just like slump over in your chair and like pass out for 2 minutes at a time. That's gotta be like indicative that your brain's fucking melting.
Tell me how to, you know what, you're a female.
Ralph, I love it. My favorite Ralph is when he's like so drunk he can't like activate his back muscles to like have posture anymore. So he's just like slouched over, and because his camera has like such a narrow field where it has visibility because of the overlay and everything, you can only see like the cap. Like it's just like the Ralph a hat talking at the because he's so drunk he can't keep his head in frame.
I mean, you're Jewish, but
well, look at her reaction to that.
I mean, you're Jewish, but look.
That's the face of a woman who's like, yeah, I'm not into you already.
You're still a female, and so can you help me? Like I do you know what
Such a good song.
radio? Radio.
I'm vibing.
Have you ever heard of that?
So radio is what, your wrist?
Yeah, basically my hand's fucked up. And my forearm's fucked up.
I can't jerk off anymore. I need one hand for the J-O, one hand for the scroll. And you're a female. You're a female. You're Jewish, but you're a female. I need some help.
Well, it's getting better, but I missed my appointment today.
Song kicks ass, by the way. Only 90 kids would know.
It's fucked up. I had two this week, but I was supposed to have 3. And I'm also like super crushing on the female, right? Because
What, like the worker?
she's training to be a kindergarten teacher. She's training to like, you know, yeah, physical therapy, right? Like, is it my...
Look at that frown, bro. Flags that she is not intrigued in this conversation. I think that's a good one right there. Okay. That's the Ralph update. Let's not kill this shit anymore.